What did it mean to you personally to come on this trip with Paladin?
So for me personally, even just thinking about my future goals to be a police officer and to work into maybe in a Bureau of Human Trafficking, I knew that this would definitely make it more personal in the sense of, in America it's obviously illegal for prostitution, so you don't see it quite to that volume of what you would here. You walk through the streets and you just see you see girls just trying to get you to come into the bar and trying to entice you in there. And it's not so. It wasn't for me anyway, as much of a temptation. But then when you get into the bars, it's it's right in your face, and just to see guys just come in there and treat the women like cattle, it was made it really personal, made it really definitely stuck out to me, and makes me want to just go in there and be able to do something about it, and it made it for me, for me to be a police officer and to get into that department of human trafficking, and it excites me.
Personally, it made issues that I was aware of in a textbook sort of way very personal and real, to actually get to experience the poverty, going to the schools, seeing how those kids live, going to their homes where their families are, and hearing their stories. Really let that all resonate, as well as trekking down walking streets and connecting the poverty with the human trafficking aspect, seeing it and feeling it. Just made it something that's now very, very real, and an issue that I feel committed to.
Well, this is actually the second trip I've made with Paladin, and it was really a different experience for me, even though we did a lot of the same things, because I was able to walk into it with a little bit more knowledge and insight, having done it already, and to see that the issues are still the same, that there is on one side a vulnerable people group that are susceptible to being victims because of the circumstances that they live in, and having the opportunity to do even more this time to help alleviate some of those issues, to be involved in to be able to walk into some of the bars that we did and not walking in there with a fear of the unknown, and to find and be able to focus on the girls there and see the desperation that's there, the entrapment that they are in because of lack of finances, because they're put there because of family needs and not having any other options. That was a real benefit, to be able to listen to Paladin's vision for the future and to provide for the girls, not just another alternative, but an opportunity to pursue dreams. I think that's really awesome. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot. So it'll pop in my mind. So that's fine.
What parts of the volunteer experience did you find most impactful?
I think going into the schools and seeing what they're like and just experiencing the whole environment and taking it all in, going to their homes and seeing where they live and where they came from as far as their poverty, and just really got on board with the prevention aspect and interviewing the girls for scholarships and trying to get a feel for how much they desired to have a better life. And I just felt that meeting two of the girls that I sponsor was like cream with a cherry on top, because it was just the pinnacle of the whole thing, and just that the prevention aspect is where I felt I could do the most as far as working in the Paladin framework.
I really like the way the trip was organized, where we first got to see the prevention aspect of it, going to the schools, seeing how they're organized, going to the homes to assess whether scholarships opportunities were viable, and participating in that process and seeing the after effect and the impact on the girls, the immediate impact, and then learning about how that would translate further. And then the second part going to be a part of the rescue aspect and just reaching out, talking to the girls that are, the women that are in this trade, that are being trafficked or that are participating in this, just to get a feel for what they're going through and what's causing them to be in this situation, so that we can just to think about possible rescue efforts.
Two moments stick out the most for me. The first being able to meet the girl that Vitaly and I chose to sponsor. I think it's a very unique and rare experience to have that. Oftentimes organizations will ask you to do something of that nature, but you never have the opportunity to meet the child. And so to be able to see her one-on-one was just incredible, and her family. And also just to see how grateful she was. She was crying in tears. That was really impactful. The second thing for me was when we were walking through the streets and seeing a group of women. They had numbers on them, as if they're just like cattle to be chosen. That was really made a huge imprint on my mind, and I can't get that image out of my head. It's emotional.
How do you see Paladin being effective in combating human trafficking?
I think that Paladin is going to be really effective because it encompasses a whole bunch of different aspects. The prevention, definitely, to be able to get to these kids before it escalates to this point in the first place and change their lives. And then also being able to go out and find the people that need the changes in the bars, and provide them an alternative, a safe haven, sustainable income, a different job, and to be able to transition them into a different life that actually works for them, as well as not creating a dependence, by giving them what they need to get on their feet, but creating independence.
Yeah, I definitely. It was a great it was a great transformation from the schools to the bars to then seeing what the plan is after. To be able to go to the schools to prevent the girls from being trafficked, so we can keep them in the schools, was huge. Definitely see that being so important. But then to go into the bars was to see the women, to talk to them, and talk to a few of them that just didn't want to be there. But to be able to say to them, I remember saying this to a couple of the girls, like, hey, we have a better job for you, and to see their eyes just like light up, just like a little bit of glimpse of hope for them, was huge. So for Paladin to be able to back that up with a job of creating mats or carpets or anything like that was a neat thing to be able to see afterwards. I guess it's a glimpse of hope for the girls. Gives them an option, a choice, other than selling themselves or being devalued the way that they are. So
I appreciate Paladin's perspective that it's not about necessarily solving all the problems of the world and all the problems with trafficking, though I know that that's their desire, but also but Paladin's focus is to reach the ones they can, and to provide a way for them to get out, to find that alternative, to pursue their dreams. Those are important things, but that's not the end of the story for Paladin. As I listen to John and what he shares, is that in order for us to be able to share with him the love of God and the love of Christ, we have to show it first. And so it's not just words that they're talking, they're putting action behind those words and showing the girls and the families and their villages and the people that it's not just what we say, that what we back it, what we do. And, I appreciate that about Paladin. I think that they did a great job with it. And their vision, long term, is to put all those pieces together. And that's exciting. And I think it's an incredible dream. And it's really neat to see God's handprints all over what they're doing.